Recording in progress. This meeting is being recorded.
We got a loop again.
Yeah, we do.
I think that's coming from you, Bortles. We've got two inputs from you. Do you have like two computers? There we go.
Yeah, I had like 5 meetings done.
That would create a loop for sure.
Just multitasking. Is this better?
Yeah. All right, are we ready?
Yep, we're
I'm
recording.
not hearing any loops, so we're good. Shall I just jump right into it? And you'll edit it afterwards, Andrew? Or we'll just share it like this and
Yeah. Okay.
It
was fine. Yeah.
they can hear all this. It's fine.
All right.
We're
So
not picking any of those. Those aren't our real picks anyway. I'm taking James Cook 101. All right, so
I think we're at 1-1-6 now.
we're at 1-6.
All right.
And Andrew, I think you had that one right.
Yeah. Jerry Klein has the 1-6. And kind of based on what we've talked about, there's kind of a whole slew of receivers that are kind of in that group of receivers. So haven't seen Drake London and Jamison Williams come off the board. And knowing that Jerry is a Jets fan, I think it adds some weight here for him to go ahead and pick Garrett Wilson. More so than just the fact that the Jets is landing spot. I think Wilson is really, he could have the long-term, he could be the best receiver in this entire draft long-term. I also like him a lot. Haven't seen him play in college at Ohio State, and just he's just such a great route runner. He has breakaway speed. It might take him a little time early on in his career because the Jets, obviously have Breece Hall. They have guys like Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. Might take a little bit of time to kind of get Wilson into the fold, but I think definitely he's the receiver that Jerry will take here at 1-6.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. I think Garrett Wilson's the closest to Justin Jefferson this draft has actually got. He's got the best looking game. Can play slot, outside, everywhere in the formation. So he is man. I like him so much. So, and Jerry's going to be thrilled to pick him up at 1-6.
Oh, absolutely. Jerry loves his Jets. He's already been talking to me about the 101 and Breece Hall.
Oh.
But there's just more Jets in this draft than he can get. All right, so that brings us to pick 7. And Jarrett, I think you were picking that one for us.
Yeah. So Jerry's got back-to-back picks.
Hang on. There's something I'm supposed to do here.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to find out who's actually watching this. We want to know if anybody is actually watching this before the draft. And so if you've made it this far, if you've made it to this point in the draft, and you're the first person to message us in the group messenger chat and say Mr. Irrelevant, if you say Mr. Irrelevant in the chat and you're the first person to say that, we're going to give you pick 511 in the draft tomorrow. So we've got pick 511. The first person that says either pick 511 or Mr. Irrelevant, we're going to give you that last pick. We're going to add a pick to the end of the draft tomorrow, and that's going to be yours. Just for watching this before the draft and being the first one to let us know that you saw this. All right, now you can go, Jarrett.
Yeah, so Jerry, we knew he'd take Garrett Wilson. He loves his Jets. I think he goes, we still have a lot of good wide receivers left at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes 2 back-to-back. Just looking at the list, if he goes kind of this chalk, we've got Treylon Burks, who's kind of, his stock has slid a little bit, but if he's still open at this point, I don't know if you want to let him slide much further. So I've got, Jerry just beefing up with Wilson at 6 and Treylon Burks at 7. Just snagging both of those guys.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The fact that Burks slid down to 7 is kind of shocking because some drafts had him as high as 3 or 4. With the Titans trading away AJ Brown, Titans need some help at receiver, so I like this pick a lot.
I know, at least before some of the conditioning questions that have come up in the last week or two, that he was in the top three of a lot of the lists that I was looking at. He was JJ Zacharysen's #2 wide receiver out of this draft class, and so yeah, I think that's a great pick. If he can get him at pick 7, it's a good pick.
I love Treylon Burks. I can't believe he made it this far in this draft. Man, I think the world of this kid. I think he's going to be really good. So I'm surprised that he's last to 7.
It hurts Josh's heart.
Real
He'll be
late,
ready to
yeah.
trade up.
Woo.
Let me
love
come up
Treylon.
and get him.
Maybe he's got size 5X gloves. That's like this many more than me. So when you think about that kind of talent, you know, I tell you what, it's May when that report came out about the breathing condition. So it's May. I'm not worried about it. I think by the time this guy is ready to rock and roll in August and September, we're looking at the rookie who's probably going to have the most points at wide receiver.
Absolutely.
At pick 7.
At pick 7. And at pick 8, Bob has pick 8. And based on all the receivers that have gone off the board so far, you know, it still remains that receiver is the best talent available. I would say that we've got 3 pretty solid running backs and then just a whole bunch of wide receiver talent. And so that's still where the value for these picks is. And Olave is sitting right there. And I know it's killing Andrew because Andrew is the next pick. Andrew is pick 9. And so he would love it if one of these Ohio State receivers makes it to him. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me to see Andrew make a move sometime in the next 24 hours or in the draft to move up and grab one of these guys. But if Bob actually sticks and picks at number 8 and Olave is there, I feel like he's the next best receiver on the board there.
Yeah, I'm going to totally agree with that pick. I know that I've talked to Bob about moving up and down through some of the draft here, and I know that he is not smitten with any particular player. So my guess would be that Bob is either looking to move down or move out of this draft. So if there's somebody who's maybe looking for an opportunity to move up and grab a guy who's left, you know, because there is some talented guys still here. I would say this might be the easiest pick to say is going to be traded in the entire draft. But if he stays, I mean, how do you not pick a talent like Olave? Great landing spot for that guy with the Saints. Good talent, fast. Oh boy, I tell you what, real fast. So I think Olave at 8 is kind of a no-brainer for Bob. He's always been a best player available guy. His team doesn't really, I mean, you look at his team, he doesn't have any needs at all. It's a solid squad. So just best player available. And I've got Olave at the same spot. So.
All right. I also have pick number 9. And I'm picking for Andrew. It would have been really easy if Olave was still there on the board. I would have run to the board just like Andrew would have run to the board and slapped Olave's name on the board at pick 9, but he's not there. But it still looks like that receivers are the best talent out there. So we've got Sky Moore still on the board. We've got George Pickens. We've got Jahan Dotson, Christian Watson. Andrew was sharing with us that he has been burned in a previous first round draft by just going with draft capital and picking the player that had the better draft capital. That resulted in picking CEH over Jonathan Taylor, and so the better landing spot and perhaps the better talent would be remaining on the board would be Sky Moore. He had an excellent Senior Bowl, and between the Senior Bowl and his workouts in the combine, his stock just blew up pre-draft, and then landing with the Chiefs. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better landing spot, especially with Tyreek Hill, all of the quote unquote vacated targets. I think that'd be a great pick at pick 9.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot too. That's I mean, getting what possibly could be the second most targeted guy on the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Whew, that's a pretty nice pick at pick 9.
All right, Josh. Well, wrap us up. Pick 10.
Okay.
What do you have for us here?
Bob Kittens has got another pick here late in the draft, and I think now it might be starting to get a little bit more slim pickings. And while he might look to maybe reach on one of the running backs that's coming out this year, I've got him taking the very quiet Jahan Dotson, who was picked in the mid-first round, coming down to the end of our first round. People think Washington Commanders, and that might not be so exciting, but I think Carson Wentz again. I mean, we've seen the story play out a lot of times, but Carson Wentz has been able to sustain a solid wide receiver 1 wherever he's been, and a good passing game. You think about those teams with the Eagles. There were a lot of targets to throw around, some good names at the top of his receiver list. And last year, I mean, he had Pittman looking pretty good throughout most of the season, so he can produce when given the opportunity. So you think McLaurin on one side, you think Jahan Dotson on the other. That could be an offense. I mean, they're going to be behind, and they play in that NFC East. So at this point in time, Jahan Dotson doesn't seem like a dart throw. He seems like a pretty solid pick at that.
Very good. All right. Well, that wraps up our first round, 1-round mock draft for tomorrow's draft. We got it done in 2 sections.
Yeah.
And so, again, looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Remember, draft starts at 1. You can show up at 12, and we will hang out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. And, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for the draft. Can't wait for this season. It's been a wild off season and a wild kind of interesting off season, and not even related to the rookies and everything, but just all the news that's been happening in the league, and so it's going to be fun to get back to football and get back to competing every week with you guys.
Okay, agreed. And don't forget, Mr. Irrelevant, pick 511. If you've watched through and you haven't done it already, get on the message board, get on the messenger group chat, put Mr. Irrelevant or pick 511 and get that last pick in tomorrow's draft.
Yep, first person to do it gets it.
Yeah.
All right,
looking forward to
fellas.
this. Really looking forward to this, guys. Seeing y'all tomorrow.
Get your beauty rest. Get lots of sleep.
Study
and,
up,
we'll
boys.
see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You guys.